Welcome back, YouTubers, to another NXT review with me, Mr. Parkin, on behalf of the British Fist, as per usual, on a Thursday evening or whenever you're watching this video. If you have any comments on this show or anything NXT related, please do not hesitate to put them in the comment section below and I will try my best to get back to you also. I'm very excited for September the 11th when WWE are having another 2-hour special on the WWE Network, which is going to be NXT Takeover 2. You know, I would have thought they'd have come up with another name of some kind. You had a rival, then Takeover. Why not come up with a different name other than Takeover 2? You know, just sounds a little bit ordinary now, doesn't it? But I'm still very interested to see what NXT are going to do with regards building up to matches and what kind of matches they're actually going to be able to put on that I'm going to be able to care about, and also that people that don't really watch NXT could also care about as well. It'll be an interesting road to Takeover 2, in my opinion. So as part of the road to NXT Takeover 2, we have this NXT Tag Team Tournament consisting of 8 tag teams, which I talked briefly about last week, to determine #1 contenders to the longest reigning tag team champions, the Ascension. Now, I've already said, in my opinion, how this tournament should really be for the vacant NXT Tag Team Championships. The Ascension should have just given up those belts, gone on to Raw or SmackDown, and feuded with the Usos of some kind at some point down the line. I still don't think, even with this tournament, you're building up a viable enough opponent for the Ascension, who have been so dominant and who have been placed on such a pedestal that they're actually going to be believably able to lose to any of the tag teams on this. You know, even tag teams like the Vaudevillains, etc. And there you have it. Speaking of the Vaudevillains, we had the first NXT Tag Team Championship Tournament match. Bull Dempsey and Mojo Rawley, a crackpot of a tag team there, versus the Vaudevillains. You know, when I looked at this match, I was thinking, well, this is obviously there to give the Vaudevillains a win and do some kind of storyline between Bull Dempsey and Mojo Rawley, which will make me go, and you know your reign as a babyface isn't doing well when Bull Dempsey, of all people, beats you up and the fans chant, "Thank you, Bull! Thank you, Bull!" You know, what the hell has happened to the Mojo Rawley character? You know, now not only is he being fed to this scrub, but he's eating a pin, from the Vaudevillains, and is just made to feel like the biggest jobber ever, you know, lately. And this character was once on fire, and I just don't know what's happened. Maybe he wasn't improving at a rate to what NXT would have liked, considering the, you know, push he was getting on NXT TV. I don't know, but it seems like Mojo Rawley's stock has gone from there, and like WWE are really high on the guy, to just down here in a matter of months, and it is quite worrying. But you also had the Luchas versus Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy, you know, pretty much another put-together tag team. It was a pretty impressive win for the Luchas, really, you know, even though it was against the jobber tag team, so you kind of expect the Luchas to be, you know, Sin Cara and Kalisto to be featured here, especially as, you know, WWE apparently are very interested in bringing up Kalisto to the main roster. So don't be surprised if the Luchas, Sin Cara and Kalisto at least make it to the final of this tournament. And you know what? I don't know why you'd have Adam Rose and Sami Zayn win last week when they'll be facing baby faces in the semi-final. You know, you may as well have had the Luchas win this match and Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel as heels face these guys in the semi-final. It just would have made a hell of a lot more sense other than the baby faces going over once again. It would have given Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel some kind of win, which at least would have helped them in some way or form. Also, as part of the road to NXT Takeover 2, we found out our #1 contender to the NXT Women's Champion that was going to happen on that show. The match was between Sasha Banks and Bayley, and my first question here was, what in the blue hell has the boss, Sasha Banks, done lately to make me believe she deserved any kind of shot at the title? Nothing. I mean, it's not even like they made the split from the BFFs feel like that big a deal, and that's considering that they've been together for so long and did so much together, and then they just break up, and, you know, it's kind of like not really that big of a deal. It's a little bit of a shame because I think WWE could have at least milked a little bit of storyline out of that. But the match itself between Sasha Banks and Bayley, it got quite a lot of time, which I was very surprised about. But to be honest with you, you could have had either of these girls win and built a good story with Charlotte. They both have history with Charlotte in some way or another. But I'm glad Bayley won because, you know, I look at the Bayley character when she first came into NXT and she was a total jobber. And I saw no future for the Bayley character at all. But then they gave her a gimmick. And then the gimmick got over. And now you look how over the Bayley character and gimmick is. And you think, you know, she deserves a shot at the Women's Championship. She's not going to beat Charlotte. But she definitely deserves a shot at the belt. And I think somewhere down the line, Sasha Banks probably deserves a shot at the belt as well. If they build her up a little bit. And if they didn't build her as like the third wheel, you know, in the BFS, when really it should have been Summer Rae, as she's already on WWE TV right now. You know, so I didn't mind the match. The match was pretty decent, and Bayley winning, I'm happy with that. But then you have this whole segment on the stage between Charlotte and Bayley, and it's just really awkward looking and really awkward feeling, and it's like I'm sitting there thinking, so Bayley, I know you're a nice girl, and you're probably all about forgiveness in character and everything, but you're just going to forget all the stuff that she did to you. You're just going to forget all the shit she gave you with the BFFs, the fact that she broke the friendship you two had. You're just going to forget about this and let her hold your hand up. Now, I understand NXT are trying to push Charlotte as some kind of babyface now, but let's not ignore history, please. Because history is one of the biggest reasons that I'd actually want to see this match. So I hope, for the love of God, they put some actual heat into this feud, if you could call it a feud, going into NXT TakeOver. Hope this isn't another one of those, oh, we're two babyfaces and we're going to see who's the best. I hope they at least put some heat into this. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit there and wish Sasha Banks won the match, because at least she's definitely a heel, and you could have worked some BFF storyline out of it with Sasha Banks saying, you know, I was the real star of the BFFs and all that kind of stuff. So in our main event of the evening, we had the match which seemed to take an age to get to. Adrian Neville versus Tyler Breeze for the NXT Championship. Do you know what? Tyler Breeze has had this #1 contendership now for some time, and I know an injury has kept him off TV tapings, but it just seemed like forever before they actually did this match. It got to the point where I was really anticipating this match, and then it just got to the point where I was kind of like, eh. You know, but at least we finally got this match, and the match between these two was good. It wasn't great, you know. It only seems to take one high spot now to make a crowd chant, "This is awesome! This is awesome!" Which shows you a lot about wrestling fans nowadays. But like I said, this was good. It wasn't great. You know, it was mainly just spots and stuff. But you know, it's also, it doesn't help also that these two are like basically the same kind of wrestler, which is what I used to hate about ROH. But like I said, one high spot to make the crowd chant, "This is awesome." You know, what levels have we really stooped to as wrestling fans in the modern day, where it takes one high spot to make the crowd chant, "This is awesome"? You see it all the time on Raw and SmackDown. You know, one suicide dive and the crowd are chanting, "This is awesome." I don't know. But as soon as I saw Tyson Kidd out there, I was like, oh God, yeah, this match isn't ending clean. Something swirly is going to happen, and that will probably lead up to something, you know, at TakeOver 2. So, you know, you have Tyson Kidd, you have Adrian Neville super kicking Tyson Kidd causing a DQ when Adrian Neville's about to win the match, and you have Tyson Kidd and Tyler Breeze beat each other up, and then they work together, which really made no sense. And then obviously you had Sami Zayn come out there, which does make sense from a storyline standpoint. So you've gone from Tyson Kidd costing Tyler Breeze his shot at the title. Now they seem to be fine with each other because they're both bad guys, I guess. And so either next week we're going to have a tag match, or it's going to be a fatal four-way at TakeOver 2. That's pretty much what they tried to set up here. But the dynamic between Tyson Kidd and Tyler Breeze, they just go from kicking each other's asses. Tyler Breeze had his title pretty much cost by Tyson Kidd, even though he was probably going to lose anyway. But they beat each other up, and then they're friends, and then they're finding a common enemy, or foe, or whatever you want to call it, in Adrian Neville. You know, come on. You know, if this ends up being a fatal four-way at TakeOver 2, I won't mind because I feel like, you know, Tyson Kidd and Sami Zayn, I don't really want to see them face off again. So at least if they're involved in the Fatal 4-Way, it'll be a different match and a different feel match at Takeover 2. We haven't really had a 4-way match yet. It's always been single matches for the NXT Championship. So at least a 4-way would feel just a tad different. So I thought this week, as a build-up show to Takeover 2, I thought this was pretty good. I mean, you're continuing on the NXT Tag Team Championship tournaments. We have semi-finals now between, you know, the Team Soft, as I'll call them, Colin Cassidy and Enzo Amore, and the Vaudevillains. You have a semi-final between Adam Rose and Sami Zayn, who are probably going to lose now to the Luchas because of Tyson Kidd and maybe Justin Gabriel. You know, you've got a #1 contender made for Charlotte for the NXT Women's Championship in Bayley, and you're setting up something, you know, for that main event of that show, maybe some kind of Fatal 4-Way, I don't know. But, I mean, part of me would love to see Adrian Neville versus Sami Zayn. Maybe they're saving that for a bigger show, for when maybe they want to bring Adrian Neville to the roster and they want to give the title to someone who has to pretty much be Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn just has to be the next champion. You know, if they're going to keep him on NXT for another year or two, he has to be the champion if they're going to take Adrian Neville to the main roster. Just saying. But as a build-up show to Takeover 2, I thought this was good. You know, everything on this show had some consequence towards NXT Takeover 2. There was no real filler. There was, you know, storyline advancement here and there. It was a good show in my opinion. It wasn't a great show, but it was a good show. Definitely better than a lot of things we've been getting on NXT lately in my opinion. As per usual, if you have any comments on this show, if you have any comments on NXT or any comments forthcoming about NXT TakeOver 2, please put them in the comment section below and I will try my best to get back to you if I physically can. Thank you very much for watching this review if you have, and goodbye.